This is John Walton, and you're listening to the Power Play Point podcast with the Blue Liner on points and Anna Knox. Here's Wilson, and on the right circle, he scores!
Rebound loose, wild scramble in front, score! Ovechkin with a buzzer beater! It'll count!
And the hat trick tonight, number 21,
Spectacular! Braden Holtby!
Hello, welcome, Washington Capitals fans of our hockey team, to another edition, the first of 2025, 26 of the Power Play Point podcast. You out there in the DMV or wherever you're listening to, if you're outside the DMV, welcome in, all of you. So we've hit another hockey season, and we're blessed for another year of great hockey for all of us. Hopefully, going to start the year. Wow, it's been too long, and if you can hear it in my voice, yeah, I'm a bit rusty at it. I've been thinking about doing it, but I guess I did more thinking than actually preparing. But we'll get through this as always. We always do. This is officially show number 292, first of the year. Because thanks to the ass backward scheduling of the stupid NHL, we're only going to cover one game, but it's actually kind of convenient because there's some other stuff I want to talk about this year. It's going to take up some time. So if you caught the Sports on the Hill podcast Monday evening, you know that made the announcement that Anna, unfortunately, will not be with us for the first few weeks worth of episodes. She will not be available until the one, whatever that is. I don't know the date off the top of my head, but it's going to be the first one in November. I think November the 2nd is the first Sunday. I don't have the game schedule in front of me right now. If there's not a game that day, then that'll be the first. But whatever first episode we do in November, she'll be with us in her place. And actually expect to hear a lot from both of these ladies. We have both Cheryl Ann Forster, C4, and Jini Clausen. And if you followed us last year, you should know both of them, had them both quite on very many occasions to add their voices to the show, and you're going to expect to hear them. You can expect to hear them a lot more this year as well, because I like having people on, I like having different opinions on, and these two, if you've heard them before, they offer a lot of opinions, a lot of knowledge, a lot of observations of how the Caps are doing. Okay, so do we flip the coin? And this being the first of the year, I'd like to, of course, introduce any new listeners out there to our co-hosts. So what do we do? Flip a coin. Who would like to go first?
You can go first, Jenny.
Okay.
You're so.
Oh.
Okay, go ahead.
Hello, all. I'm Jini. If you were here last year, you heard me on a few times. I love to chat about the Caps all the time, so this is a fantastic forum for me to do it with other people who actually like to listen to me talk about it, unlike my non-hockey friends who wonder if I ever stop talking about hockey. Let's see. I've been a Caps fan for quite a few years, but I would say only followed seriously in the last 5 years or so. I kind of have gone up and down. I am originally from California, so the Sharks were my first team, but I didn't follow as closely back then. So Sharks are my second favorite, but Caps are always way above that. I am a Tom Wilson girl. He is definitely my favorite, but I have lots of love for all of the guys. Huge PLD fan. Logan Thompson. I mean, honestly, I could just go down the list. I love them all. So happy to be here. Happy to be chatting. I think I got all the talking points, Gil.
Sounds good. Yeah, sounds like everybody. What's not to like? So if you're a fan of the Cap, so thanks thanks for that. Great job, Jini. Okay, C4. Tell the listeners who you are.
Hi, most of y'all probably know who I am a little bit because I was on quite a few times last season. I live in Myersville, Maryland, which is a little town outside of Frederick. I've been a Caps fan most of my life. Started out kind of as a Bruins fan because of my daddy. He's from Massachusetts and played hockey all the way up through college. So I've been a hockey girl pretty much all my life. I have several favorite players on the team. My current favorite, I think, is Dubois. I kind of pick one each year. So a couple years ago, it was Strome. Last year, it was Chikrin. This year, it's going to be Dubois, I believe. So, yeah, I just kind of like to mix it up a bit. I have had so much fun with the Caps through the years, win, lose, tie. That's pretty much it.
All right, sounds great. Okay, and as I said, you can expect to hear from these two quite a bit throughout the year. I think at some points we'll have all four, counting me, of course, to kind of at certain points of the year to kind of figure out where the team is, because if you followed the team for a whole season, you know there are a lot of ups and there's a lot of downs. So yeah, and the more voices we have, figuring things out, the better. Before we get to our next order of business, I just remembered something. So Jini, I promised that I would find you a name,
Right.
find you a nickname. And I found an old note of mine where I've been asking around and to see what they could asking some friends and see what what would work. And between them and myself, this is what I came up with three. Now, if you don't like any of them, we can keep looking, but hopefully you'll pick one of them. So somebody came up with gin and tonic, spelled Jin, of course, and tonic is one of them. Another one is Miss Gin Dependent. And still another one is Jinx.
Oh. Well,
Mm.
Jinx is kind of scary.
If you like any one of those,
I like Miss Independent. I like that.
Okay,
that fits my personality.
I kind
I'm
of
not a big
figured.
drinker, so gin and tonic. I have gotten that before, but yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Perfect.
All right.
I love it.
So whenever you're on with us and we start the show, forevermore, you will now be known as Miss Gin Dependent.
Love it.
Okay,
Right.
awesome. All right. So now we've got everybody, all the regulars, as it were, with their own side name, which I love. All right, let's get to it. I did say I had an order of business, though. Okay, so one big thing that's going to be different about the podcast this year. All right, so it's long been a goal of mine, even though this podcast, I mean, really, this podcast is started out and still is really my cheap way of avoiding therapy. But instead of talking about my life, I talk about a hockey team that means a lot to me in my life. But at the same time, I'm kind of, I've also kind of, been a little bit ambitious about growing the podcast, but it's not about recognition for me. It's not about the downloads. It's not about making money. It's more about making an impact on the community. I figured the way to do that was to maybe get a sponsorship. Maybe some big company would like what we're doing and be willing to toss us some money so that I can get better equipment, promote things and do things like that. Well, I think I found something better. I became friends with a transplanted Caps fan who began his hockey fandom as a Nashville Predators fan, and his name is Dan Wood. Some of you know him as Audie Wood, and he is the head of an organization that started out as life literacy education. It is now called Empowering Education. It's been reorganized, and the goal of this organization is to teach financial health and literacy, among other things, basically life lessons, if you think about it, to anyone and anywhere. And he's built this program. He basically built this program all by himself. And well, it's gotten enough recognition so that he's reached out and realized that he's needing some help. That's why it had to be reorganized. Not gonna give you the whole story, but basically a few months ago he realized that it takes, as they say, it takes a village. So it's been reorganized. It started out in Western Kentucky. He used the program to mentor at-risk youth in high school. These were kids that were faced with criminal charges and had incarceration as an option. He convinced the judges to let these kids take his course, and they loved, most of them, 91% graduated the course, loved the course so much, loved what they learned, that they realized, okay, you know what, I can make something myself, either by learning a trade or continuing my education and not going down the path I've been down. So long story short, I wish I had more time to get into the details and the statistics. I really do. You can contact Dan if you want more information. He's happy to talk about it with anybody. But long story short, this is a great program for anybody who doesn't feel like they know enough about how finance works, and how to manage your money better, how to get away from the traps and the pitfalls, and how to use credit, and keep your wits about you when there's good and bad offers in your face, and you're bombarded with different things that might change your financial trajectory. Okay, I can't say enough good things about this program. I spent the summer studying it. I'm actually taking the course myself, and it's absolutely wonderful. It's a wonderful thing. And so basically, what Dan has done is he has, I want to make sure, I don't want to make sure so basically he convinced the Monumental Sports and Entertainment Foundation to help him help students in the DMV. His plans are to start a pilot program in Baltimore and then eventually spread that through the DMV. He's living in Baltimore City now as his main residence, although he travels a lot. Anyway, the plan is to start the pilot program in Baltimore, spread it all through the DMV, and MSE is helping him through that. And we became friends late last season, and we've been talking back and forth, and yeah, he's decided to become my partner, as it were, a content partner, as it were. So you're going to hear about empowering education a lot. We're going to say a few words. We're going to take a break and say a few words about them. And of course, they are the ones that, hopefully you've heard by now, they are the ones that are sponsoring the raffle giveaway that we're doing. If you haven't gone to the site and bought your ticket, please get yourself a ticket. I can't stress enough the seats that we're giving away. If you win the raffle, hopefully, awesome, just awesome. So hopefully you get yourself a ticket and participate in that. But yeah, Empowering Ed is our partner for this year, and so they're helping us out, and they're also helping out the DMV, and they're going to set down roots here, and I think it's going to be an absolutely awesome, wonderful thing. So yeah, that's what they're about. I mean, we're going to try not to, bore everybody with, too much detail. Just going to say a few words about them, remind them of what they, remind everybody of what they do. I know everybody's like in this day and age, tired of commercials and things like that. We're going to try not to do that, but at the same time, we want everybody to be aware because, I mean, if Dan and I fulfill what we want to have happen, then this is a program that'll be available online for everybody in the area, and they'll get to learn how to navigate the financial world, the financial system, and I think that'll be nothing but a benefit to everybody. So from here on out, for the rest of this season, you're going to hear some words spoken about that on break. We're going to break for that. And yeah, so expect that, but that's that, and the side benefit is, they're with the resources that MSE is helping out with, that's going to help us out because now, frankly, I mean, I'm in desperate need of a new laptop. I won't lie, and some other equipment, and storage costs money as well. It ain't cheap to put on a podcast, especially now. So, I hate asking for money, but this kind of helps in that need. So, want to take this opportunity to thank Dan for that, and of course Monumental Sports. So yeah, just a few words about that. Hopefully, I didn't go too much in about that, but I have to thank them because that's a great thing that's going to really, really help us out this year. Okay, so all right. Now, something else I want to get off my chest is that I don't think the opinions of the fans are taken too seriously anymore. I wasn't so I want to point something out. 2 years ago, at the end of 2024, Spencer Carberry's first season, I had a couple guys on. One of them was Stuart Small, if you remember him. And one of the points he made that the Caps desperately needed to improve in was face-off percentage. So let me point out something. End of 24, they had a 46.18% face-off win percentage, and it was 30th out of 32. Last year, they improved all the way up to 15th with a 50.5 face-off win percentage. So there you go. And look at the results. They won the East, and they jumped in percentage standings points like at least 25%. So there you go. We fans know a lot more than these so-called pundits do. And guess what? The pundits have us on the borderline. Most of them have us making the playoffs, but kind of on the borderline. Quite a few of them have us. Ladies, can you believe this? I saw a few of them that had the Caps finishing behind Columbus in the division.
Crazy. Yeah.
That's insane. That is insane.
So that said, how do you think they'll do?
I think they'll make the playoffs. It might be in the wild card spot. It is a different team than last year. Some of the things I saw in the game Wednesday night's game, they were doing what they needed to do. It's just Swayman was playing the part of a brick wall very well. So that game would have gone a lot different if Swayman had not been playing out of his mind. So if we can keep our shooting percentage up and our face-off percentage up, that's going to go a long way to keeping us near the top of the division, at least good enough to make the playoffs. I don't know how far we'll get in there yet. It's only been game 1 of 82. So it's hard for me to say, but I think there's some teams that we're going to need to watch. The Rangers under Mike Sullivan, I think, is going to, I think they're off to, I don't know how well they've done so far, but
they lost their first game against
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
So they lost to Pittsburgh, but that's part of that might just be new coach adjustment and stuff. So we'll have to see how that goes. And what the chemistry on that team is. There's been a lot of weird things going on in New York, so that's going to play a role as well. But I think I don't think Boston or Pittsburgh are as good as their first games showed them to be. I think the only reason Boston won that game the other night is because of Swayman. And, it's game 1, people. Preseason means nothing. It is game 1. Yeah. We lost. It was nothing that I could see on paper or that I saw on the ice, maybe a few weirds. I mean, we didn't even have, maybe the power play could use some work, but then the 5-on-5 though is going to need some work. I think a lot of that is there's several new pieces on the roster this year, and they've got to find that. And there's some pieces that aren't here anymore. So they've got to find that chemistry again. And I think that's another, thing that's going to, I don't want to say hold us back, but maybe slow us down a little bit. Once we get that chemistry, though, we're going to take off, I think, and we're going to be just fine.
All right, Jini, what do you think?
So I agree with some of that, and I disagree with some of it. I actually think that I don't think that Boston beat us. I think that we beat us on that first game. I don't think it was that Swayman was phenomenal. 95% of those shots were straight to his chest. It was like I felt like we were passing to their goalie. I'm like, can we try not to aim for him? I liked that we were taking a lot of shots, but I didn't like that we were like pass to the goalie. Like if you're gonna go straight at the goalie like that, you better like slap it hard. So that was killing me. I felt like that. Yeah.
I agree.
Not that Sway's not good, and I think that with a lesser goalie, we could have had a higher percentage, but like it was still just like, oh hey, let's pass this way.
there were times it did look like they were kind of shooting just to shoot.
Right? I'm all about more shots.
I am not going to disagree with that at all. That there were definitely times that looked like they were shooting just to shoot, and they just, But Wilson, his shot. I mean, he saw Swayman going down, he flipped it up, and that's the kind of awareness that our shooters are going to need to start working on.
Agreed.
Find those open spots and aim in there. They have the ability to do it. I mean, Wilson's got it, Strome's got it, McMichael's got it. Lord knows Leonard's got it. He's gonna, once he gets that first goal, he's gonna really. They gave him a lot of opportunity. They were giving him a lot of room. So, and once he gets that first goal and figures it out, he's gonna play. Now he's not gonna be the 40-50 goal scorer that Ovi is. He's gonna probably average you closer to 20 or 30. He's gonna, but he'll also have a lot of assists, I think. And I tell you what,
agreed.
When I went to practice a few weeks ago, when he was on the line with PLD and Protus, they were like, it was scary good. And I want to see that line in a game soon.
I think it's just going to take him a little bit of time, but he already looked so much more comfortable and in preseason. And now obviously preseason, not the same, but I feel like you could see how much more comfortable he's got just since those last few games, from last season.
Yeah.
I think Wednesday was just one of those off days. No passes were connecting. Everyone was off.
God, that passing was terrible.
Honestly, even Wilson was killing me other than the goal. I just felt like nobody was connecting. And I don't know. I don't know what was going on, but I definitely do not think that's indicative of the type of season they're going to have. I think that
No.
because honestly, just they looked better. They looked more connected in practice. I think it was just one of those one of those off games. And apparently we just like to lose the first game of the season. I mean, how many seasons has it been since, wasn't it 2018, the last time we won the first game of the season?
That's what Marcus and I were trying to figure out.
I was going to say, Marcus made the comment. Marcus, by the way, has a friend of ours has his own show, which I'm going to plug now. The Sacrooms Capitals Off Their Chain podcast, which yours truly and C4 are also a part of. But Marcus made the same comment that old Spencer, unfortunately, is great at a lot of things, but not so much winning the first of the year. But yeah, for me, ladies, if you have more to contribute, do please go ahead. But for me, it was a tale of two games. Yes, the Caps beat themselves. Yes, Swayman was good when he had to be, and well, he didn't always have to be because those shots went right in the middle of that big letter B in the middle of his chest. A good number of times, but he was good when he had to be, but they didn't force him to have to be. That was part of the problem.
1000% agreed.
Yeah. The power play stunk the joint up. More on that as we go into the details of the game here. Yeah, that didn't help. Yeah, I just a lot of it was like the both of you said, maybe some chemistry issues, some opening night jitters. All right. You know what? This is also going to be a feature of this coming year. I don't know that I'm going to be the nice guy too much anymore. And what I mean by that is, well, let me take my first shot here. Does anybody else think maybe Ovi should probably sit a few games until he's 100% healed, because he did not look all that well to me?
100%, absolutely.
Yep. You could tell it was off, and when he's off, it throws everyone off. And we just need to accept that he's 40 years old and he's going to heal slower. And
no, we don't need to accept it.
Yes, agreed.
And the team needs to, and then the coaching staff and the powers that be need to accept it. We know this, but we're from the outside. We're not coaches, so we what do we know, right? But yeah, no, I 100% absolutely agree with that.
I must have counted 6 times where he just fell down.
Yes, and he took some hits too. He looked like he was getting thrown around. I cannot remember the last time ever that I've seen him get thrown around like that. I was like, the first time it happened, I was like, oh, okay, maybe ice is a little weird. The second time, and there was a couple like big ones where I was like, oh my God, they just like rocked Ovi. That does not happen. Yeah, agreed. Let him heal.
Well, something else, and this was something that Mrs. Blue Liner, who of course was next to me, postured, was that the ice wasn't all that great, and the way the puck was bouncing, yeah, I can believe that, I can buy that.
And there were, Ovi wasn't. There were a lot of people. Chris and I were saying the same thing. Like halfway through period 2, I'm like, I can't even count how many people on both teams have fallen down tonight.
Yeah.
It was that definitely could have been a factor.
The funny thing is, they were supposed to have put a new ice plant in.
Right.
So
Yeah,
maybe it
well,
was glitching. I don't know, but
fat lot of good that does against a typical DMV Indian summer where it was still 71 degrees, at outside air temperature at game
Yeah.
time. So
right.
unfortunately, so that's another aspect of hockey down here that you got to live with. You take the good and you take the bad.
You take them both, and then you have the facts of life. Sorry.
if
Showing my
you
age
weren't going to
here.
do it,
I'm
if you
showing
weren't
my age here.
if you weren't going to do it, I was. So I'm glad you jumped in with that.
I loved that show.
I have mixed feelings about that show, none of which I'm going to share here.
But we digress.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and rip the Band-Aid off, get to the details of the game. Great. I had you know what? Even with the loss, I was pretty ticked off. I have to admit about the loss. I still had a great time. It's always Capital One is always a great experience. Great place to go to a game, and the seats that were provided were absolutely awesome. There in section 218, row F, at the club level. We weren't in the Ultra Club, but they were pretty damn close. So yeah, I've got a picture. We posted it on the Facebook page. If you're not part of that, you want to see what you're getting into. If you haven't bought your raffle ticket yet, then I can send that out to you if you like. But yeah, the seats were absolutely awesome, and just love seeing a great view of everything. Okay, so let's get down to the scoring summary here. So no score in the first period. First period was real slow. Not a whole lot of action going either way. I think both teams taking their time, feeling each other out. I get that. First game of the year and such. Yeah, we get it.
That's kind of what I was thinking. It looked like they were kind of just feeling each other out a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
There were quite
go
a few
ahead.
penalties, though. I said there were
Well,
quite a lot of penalties. I mean, 3 balls. We had 3 power plays in the first period.
Now that you mention it, let's see. Okay, so yes, Caps had 3 power play chances in that first period. 2, 1 for the Boston Bruins, including. Well, okay, so 1 spilled over into the second, and then 19 seconds into the second, Charlie McAvoy decides to help Alex Ovechkin in one of his falls to the ice. Referee decided, okay, you need to sit for that. So the Caps actually found themselves early in the second period with, albeit a brief 5-on-3 man advantage. And we're all happy and salivating and hoping for a goal. No, didn't come. Did not come. What did come was a goal from David Pastrnak, who scored at 12:07 of the second period. And it was not. I thought it was a power play goal. It was not.
No.
No, okay. The next one was a power play goal. Okay, fine. So Pastrnak scores at 12:07, assisted by Zadorov and Morgan Geekie with their first points of the year. Yes, that is his name. I'm not making that up. Yeah, I didn't expect to hear a lot from Pastrnak because I heard he was battling tendonitis in his knee. And there's not going to be a surgical option for that until after the year. So I figured he was going to struggle the rest of the year.
He didn't look like he was struggling too hard, so
I guess not.
But
so he opens the scoring. Unfortunately, no other goals, but lots of blown power play chances, as I mentioned, and it did not look good for our Caps until to the rescue rode Tom Wilson, who opened the scoring for the guys in red with his first of the year. Jacob Chikrin and Alexei Protas, the assists on that one at 7:03. So house is rocking. We got a tie game. And then what happened? Well, what happened was the Caps got themselves in
2
penalty
seconds
trouble.
later?
Yeah. John Carlson. I guess he missed his wife or something. And he got called for holding. Of all penalties, holding. Now some said this was kind of a cheapie, kind of a softie. All I know is when I looked up, Morgan Geekie was face down on the ice, so he was. I don't know how they called it holding, but yeah. Either way, he did something he shouldn't have, and then yeah, like you said, C4. 2 seconds later, power play goal, which brought the Bees back ahead 2-1. So it was Elias Lindholm, assisted by Pavel Zacha and Pasternak at 7:41. This would be the game-winning goal. Caps fought pretty hard, but gave up an empty netter with a minute left. No, we don't get credit for the McNugget minute if the other team scores. Nice
Are they
try.
doing that this year?
As far as
they
I
are.
know, they are.
Yeah, they are.
Good.
But yeah, Geekie gets the empty netter. Pasternak another assist. Lindholm another point with his assist, and yeah, fans go away pissed off. I know I was one of them. Here are the vitals. Shots on goal, 36 for the Caps. 36, including 17 in the second period alone. Face-off was even Steven, 50% each. Okay, and here's what pissed me off the most. The power play, 0 for 5.
Yeah.
Yep.
0 for 5, including, as I mentioned, a 40-plus second 5-on-3 man advantage.
Yep.
Oh, I mean, come
It
on.
felt like we played worse during the power plays. How many times? I mean, I was holding my breath multiple times as they had opportunities for shorties. I'm like,
Yeah.
it was the power play looked awful.
It was terrible. I was. There were times I just kind of walked away. I couldn't. I just couldn't.
It was. I don't know. It was. I'm having trouble describing it. It was too tentative, and yet at the same time they were forcing things, and yet at the same time they were too slow and too fast. It's like they could not find. They could not find anything to click, and they didn't. It was almost as if they didn't know they had this golden opportunity in front of them. And I mean, come on, you got 5 power play chances. I mean, you got to grab it like a jackrabbit, dagnabbit. Come on. That's opportunity in your face. The Bruins are supposed to be one of the worst teams in the league. They got nobody on their end who can match up. Look, I know it's just one game, but this better not be previews of what's to come this year. Because if it is, man, special teams need something of a shakeup, because one power play goal given up by the PK and 5 blown chances, including a 5-on-3. You can't go too many games. You cannot go too many games like that.
Yeah.
And did anybody else notice that on the opening power play chance, a certain somebody wearing number 8 was not out there the full 2 minutes?
No, I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Interesting. Usually he does the double shift, and they'd already said this year he wasn't going to.
Yeah, that's Carbs has said he's going to be managing that to make sure. And I'm sure part of it was he's obviously still healing from whatever injury happened in preseason. And I'm glad to see that Carbs is doing that, because it needs to be managed.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And Ovi's response to that was, quote unquote, "We'll see."
Of course.
Um,
Well, I think it's so hard because Ovi, no matter what he says, people like, you know, is this your last season? Is this this? Is this? And he's said multiple times like all he says is we'll see, because obviously age hasn't caught up to him yet, and last year he did phenomenal, but if I was him, I would be careful about what I said too.
Yeah, true. And I mentioned this on Monday night, Sports on the Hill, is that I think what he wants to avoid is the overdone farewell tour.
Yes.
I don't think he wants
Exactly.
that.
He
I
just
don't think
wants to play hockey.
He just
Yeah.
wants to play the game, and and I
Agreed.
think genuinely he does feel like, well, I kind of I want to finish out the year, but I kind of want to see what things are, how things are like.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Which I get. Like I respect that position, and I think that if he has another great year, why not try to go for 1,000 goals, stretch it out 1 year? But
Yeah.
also, if Father Time does start to catch up more, then I think he's smart to kind of leave it vague. But I think the team is also very, very well aware that this could or could not be the last season. I mean, Wilson talked about, kind of getting chills when they announced Ovi and realizing that could be the last time he's announced on an opening night.
Yeah. Yeah, and the thing is too, and I agree with Ovi because, these things tend to take on a life of their own and they become distractions. And they don't need the distraction of this possibly being Ovi's last year. Now, his saying, we'll see, we'll see, we'll see, doesn't necessarily help. I mean, a lot of fans want a yes or a no, but yes, it's like, then you get the big blow up. No, then, life moves on. So I get why he's saying, we'll see.
Yeah.
But, and I don't blame him for that because, last year it was all about the chase. And now it's not there anymore. And I think I said this on Monday night too, let the man play hockey.
Yep.
Let him play as long as he wants. If this is his last year, it's his last year. If it's not, that's fine. That's great too. We all know his plan is he wants to finish in Russia. He wants to play at least one more year over there. And then he's going to come back here. And I think he wants to get in the booth, but I'm not, or have some part of the organization at some point in the future. But I mean, just let the man play hockey. Just let it be. And don't let it become a distraction, which is, far easier said than done when you have somebody like Ovechkin on the ice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and unfortunately, and nobody has any control over this, but the media is not going to let that go. The hockey media is not going to. There's no chance in hell they are going to let this go right up until game number 82. So it's going to be up to the team to not let it be a distraction. But I don't think, thankfully, I don't think it will be as big a thing, and I refuse to call last year's goal chase a distraction. I don't think it was a distraction. I think if anything, it energized and galvanized the team, and then it was like the adrenaline rush and then the crash that comes after it. That's what happened last year.
Oh, yeah,
Agreed.
absolutely.
Agreed.
They were
It
so
was like-
gassed up and jazzed and whatever for this chase. By the time they got to the playoffs, they were just done.
Exactly. It was
Yep.
like they collectively chugged a dozen Red Bulls, and then the crash came a couple games afterwards, especially when they tried to rest some guys, and some guys came back discombobulated. Carlson and others benefited from the rest, but not so much. And then you had and then you had Logan, who got crashed into by his own guy, and then yeah, I don't want to rehash the playoffs, but man, that was more probably. I like to use the phrase unnecessarily exciting. Well, it was at times in that first round series, even though they won it in 5 games. So
Yeah.
but
Those
at least they
Montreal
won the
fans.
series.
There was at least one game I couldn't watch because those fans were just so awful.
Now they showed what they were made of. Now I want to wrap things up here by not well, of course, going over the next few games, but we talked a lot about Ovi, but I also like to make note of the fact that this team is so much more than Ovechkin, and I think a lot of fans, not other fans, kind of said, "Oh, this team's all about him getting the record. They're not even going to make the playoffs. They're about him getting the record." That's not true. That's probably the furthest thing from the truth. We've already mentioned a lot of guys that are going to be key to this season, I think. Pierre-Luc Dubois, Tom Wilson, Dylan Strome. Both goalies are going to, I think, have their say. Now,
Agreed.
I think finally, for once, we probably don't have a goalie controversy. I think it's been pretty clearly stated that Logan Thompson is the number one.
Yes.
And
I think so.
Charlie's going to be the backup.
And I think Charlie's okay with that. Honestly. He steps up when he needs to, but I think, I sometimes get the impression he's actually quite happy with that.
Yeah, I think he's a great backup. He's shown that he's capable of playing, carrying the load when he has to.
Yeah.
As long as he isn't overused. So
Right.
I don't think the goalies will be a problem. I think it'll just be a matter of keeping things on an even keel, and keeping the lines balanced. Now I was down on the special teams. I think somehow that'll improve and right the ship there. I think the one key element here is the fact that I saw a lot of line combinations in the preseason.
Yeah.
And I saw a lot of matching ups, and I saw a lot of different partnerships, if you will. Now this game, PLD I saw mostly with Connor McMichael. That proved to be a winning combination last year, but like you mentioned, Cheryl, I would love to see the what I call the PLD line, Protus, Leonard, and PLD. I would like to see that.
Yeah.
That line in practice was scary good.
Yeah.
They were scary good. Now they wouldn't be top line; they would probably be second line, but they were scary good.
They will probably be second
Honestly,
line.
I think PLD improves any line he's on, except for Ovechkin's line. I think Ovi is just a little too slow, and I don't think every time I saw them play together, I feel like it just doesn't quite connect. I think PLD is a little too fast.
Yeah.
I don't think they specifically pair well together, but outside of that, I feel like PLD improves any line he's on.
Absolutely.
Agreed. And I think now one of the other things I mentioned him before, Stuart Small said on his end of 2024 contribution was that we needed a true number one center. I'm not sure if we really have that, but we have the next best thing. We have a 1 and 1A center. Dubois could probably center a number one line all by himself. And I think Strome has improved to the point where he can carry the number one line himself too. So I think those two guys are interchangeable. It's just going to depend on who those wingers are.
Yeah.
So I like this forward group a lot. I do. I will say this though, and it kills me to say it, but I don't think the goals are going to come as easily as they did last year.
No.
I think they're going to find that they have to work a lot harder for the goals this year, and that's why I'm not very big on making predictions. But I hate to say it, but don't expect the Caps to run away with the division and the East like they did last year.
No,
Because
I
again,
agree. I
No.
expect a little regression in that area. I would guess. I think we'll either be second or third in the division, depending on how the Devils shake out.
yeah, if the Devils,
Yeah,
I
that's
think
true.
I
if the
think
Devils,
Canes. Yeah, I think Canes are going to be at the top of our division, and then I think it'll be us or the Devils.
Yeah, well, there's been rumors that the Devils might be going after the third Quinn brother.
Yeah.
And if that happens, all bets are off because the three of them are that good.
well, if and when that
Yeah.
happens, that'll probably be some sort of trade deadline blockbuster.
Yeah,
but
that's not going to happen till
we'll have to wait and see. Especially if they can't stay healthy. But if the Devils can stay healthy, they probably will run away with the division. Well, maybe not run away. It'll be a 1-2 race. I'm not sold on Nikolai Ehlers making the Canes that much better. Just because you pay through the nose for a guy, doesn't mean he's going to get you that result. And I don't think they made the smart decision in paying a guy so much that's finished a season only once or twice in the last 7 years.
Oof.
Yeah. So I
yeah,
think
no,
the Caps.
I think I definitely agree with that. I think that a lot of people were mad because we didn't
Yes.
and fans act like they know what goes on behind the scenes, and they're like, we should have fought harder to get him, blah 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 blah. Well, why do we want to pay a bunch of money for? I don't know. I agree that he's not necessarily going to be like a specific game changer. But
No.
Yeah,
I think their goalie staying healthy will make or break it for them as well.
Yeah, I think it'll be
that's
some
true.
combination of Hurricanes, Devils, Caps for the 3 guaranteed spots.
Yeah.
In
and then
in
Rangers
the Metro.
probably somewhere in there too.
And I
They're
think
probably going to be a wild card.
for the wild card mix, and if the Caps slump a bit, they might find themselves fighting for that too. But for the wild card mix, do not be surprised if it's the Rangers and maybe even Columbus. They've improved enough that they're they darn near collared a wild card spot. They came close last season. They were definitely in the mix all the way up to the last day of the year. So don't be surprised if you see a lot of them. But it'll be those 5 and then and nobody else for the Metro. Any playoff spots in the Metro. So that's how I see it anyway. Okay, so looking at the schedule here, again, thanks to the NHL, Caps already have a back-to-back on a weekend. Get this, here we are. It's Friday evening.
No.
You want to know how many hockey games are on?
31.
Minus that by
31.
31, you'll have the correct answer.
Yeah.
It's 32 teams divided by 2 is
No games.
yeah.
No games tonight. It's a Friday. It's the first Friday of the friggin' season.
There should be games.
There should be
Right.
at least.
Meanwhile, there were a ton yesterday. There's a ton tomorrow, and only 1 on Sunday. I think there were three teams that started off the season with a back-to-back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know
and
what?
and Caps aren't even 5 days into their season. They've already got a back-to-back.
Yeah.
And we've only played 1 game.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here looking at the stats, and we've played 1 game. Carolina's played 1 game. The Blue Jackets have played one game. Philly and Washington and New Jersey have all played one game. Rangers and Pittsburgh have each played 2. Rangers are 2-1, and Pittsburgh is actually 2-0
Yeah.
against the Rangers.
Go figure.
Right.
Against the Rangers
They're
and
starting off
the Rangers
strong.
and the Islanders. The Rangers and the no, they played the Rangers. They played the Islanders and they beat them 3-4.
And the Rangers 3-0.
I think so.
It was yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely early.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
and now, and of course, we have a friend who's a Pittsburgh fan. He's like, "Ha, y'all lost to Boston, and we beat da 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 da." And it's like, yeah, who cares?
You're like, you're 2 games in. Enjoy it while you can.
Exactly.
Right, exactly.
So the Caps dinner card is filled up this weekend. So it's a back-to-back in New York. They start out on the island against the Islanders. 7:00 puck drop Saturday night. And then 24 hours later, over to MSG against the Rangers. 7:00 puck drop there. That's Sunday the 12th. And then continuing on the week, back home to Cap 1, 7:00 face-off Tuesday the 14th against the Tampa Bay Lightning. A couple days off, and then Friday night game against the Minnesota Wild. And they ought to call them the multi-million-dollar Wild for all that money they paid Kaprizov. But that's who they'll be facing then. And then it'll be another Sunday game, the 19th, against Vancouver. So our next broadcast will probably be that Saturday the 18th, since it's a full day off. So we'll be covering those 4 games. Okay, not going to put you ladies on the spot, but both of you, since Anna will be unavailable till the end of the month, hopefully will be available. So I'll have some combination of you both available. So we're looking at the 18th of Saturday, probably same time.
We're going to the Hershey game.
I will be available.
That's right. Okay,
Marcus and I got tickets to the Hershey Bears, season tickets for the Hershey Bears.
Awesome.
So we're going to be going to lots of Hershey games this year.
Sweet, literally. So okay, so Jini, so we'll be hearing from you alongside the evening of the 18th to recap those 4 games. So keep a close watch as you always do, and I'm sure you'll have a lot of numbers to grind and crunch when we.
I love my numbers.
go over that.
Strom has such a special place in my heart for his love of statistics.
There we go.
Oh yes.
I don't have a love of statistics, but let me tell you this. I coach cross country, and our championship season is coming up. The next 3 meets are our Central Maryland conference champions, then the Frederick County champions, then regions, then states. So for the next 3 meets, I actually went online to and picked out the top 7 runners at all the schools and did my own little analysis of where we should finish in all of these meets. And it's very scary that I actually was bored enough to do that.
Oh, see that, that's numbers are my happy place. I love that.
Well, I started diving down. I'm one of those people, I start diving down a rabbit hole and I'm going to go explore all the little branches that come off of it. So
yes.
Here we are.
I think that's one of the reasons I love hockey so much is there's always so many directions you can go with how you approach thinking and watching the game.
Exactly.
Well, not to go down another rabbit hole, but analytics have their plates. I'm never going to discount them. I think they're an extremely useful tool, but there are certain analytical pundits out there that love to see the Caps fail, love to put the Caps in a disadvantageous place, if that is a word. And
it is now.
I love it when their so-called models fail and they're proven wrong. So
agreed.
I'll just say that.
As much as I love the numbers, I love when there's deviations.
Yeah, and I'm not
especially when they're good and they go in our favor.
Yeah, I'm not the numbers person. I'm the one that, I'll look at the numbers and I'll go, okay. But again, they only tell part of the story.
Yes.
It's like, you can have 32 shots on goal and, still lose a game like we did, because the team that had the fewer shots, the ones that they took, they made them count. So you can have a game where you may have 12 shots on goal, but you win 3-1 because the shots you made counted. So it's, yes, as much as we scream, shoot the puck at the team, if the shots that they're making count, who really cares how many they got?
Yeah.
Right.
I said that multiple times last season. People would be like, shoot the puck. I'm like, we do have a lower shot on goal than other teams, but look at our results.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, at least we weren't in the negative like we were the shot differential a few years ago.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
But
that's going to be it's going to be a very interesting wrinkle to see how well that holds up. But not to be a pessimist, but I think they're going to have to they're going to find that they're going to have to work a lot harder for the goals, and that may skew the trend downward as far as number of standings points. But I think ultimately they'll find a way to win games, which is
right. And that is because we have different personnel on the lines. We've got LaPierre up now. We've got Leonard up here. We've got Milano back. We've got Sordiff in now. So we've got these newer pieces. We're going to have Beauvillier for a full season now. So we've got a lot of newer pieces that we have to kind of fit together and get that chemistry built up again. And we will. It might take a few games, but we'll get it there. And, I have no doubt this team is going to do well this year, whether we finish first, third, second, wild card.
Yeah.
Sit back and enjoy the ride, folks. That's all I can tell you.
Truer words never spoken. So on that note, we will wrap it up for the first of 2025-26. Jini, C4, ladies, thank you so much for joining me and helping things along. Jini, I will see you next, not see you, I will hear you at the very least. Next Saturday, the 18th, will be our next recording. We will go over the 4 games we mentioned. C4, have a good time in Hershey, and would love to see some picks. Okay. Yeah, definitely. All right. So, be optimistic. We still are not happy about the loss, but it's just one loss. And you know what? It's a game they should have won, but you know what? It's going to be like that. There's going to be games like that. And there's going to be other games where they shouldn't have won, where they're going to steal the win. So
exactly.
So like C4 said, buckle up, enjoy the ride, because it's going to be it's going to be like that this year.
Might be a little bumpy.
That it will. But what's life without a few bumps along the way?
Preach.
Okay. All right. So for C4 Cheryl Ann Forster and Miss Gin Dependent Jini Clausen, this is the Blue Liner on Point signing off for the first of 2026 and reminding you that it doesn't matter if you're tall or short or thin, fat, rich, poor, whatever, because at the end of the day, it's night.
My mind went somewhere way different with that.
Hallelujah, and let's go Caps.
Let's go Caps.
This has been another episode of the Power Play Point Podcast. All episodes are available from Apple Podcasts, the Podbean app, blueliner77.podbean.com, and now available from Stitcher. Music by Joe McAllister, voiceover by Jeffrey Conkle.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, Power Play Point Podcast. Thanks for listening.